What's up guys, wanted to do a quick video about Divine Armaments once you reach level 90. You'll notice the usual blessing packs when you reach level 90. This would have Lights of Wisdom, which we'll talk more about later, the usual Divine Fragments which you've noticed during your Hellheims, and these Weapon of your Choice chests. I think, if I remember correctly, when you unlock the Divine Armament feature during the main quests, you'd get this blue Weapon of your Choice chest. But from the blessing packs, you'd get the chest item that's blue background. It gives you the purple weapons of your choice. That would be pretty much what you'd have at first: a blue weapon from the main quest, or a purple one, or three of them, depending when you buy the blessing packs or not. If you'd ask me, I think it's worth it for the price of what, $32. Moving on, you'd get the rest of your Divine Armament gears by clearing Nightmare Temple levels. First of all, this Nightmare Temple feature is a gradual process. You can't overnight get all of the best gears by whaling. You get 15 reward opportunities per week, one time on each of the 5 levels every day. So that's 3 days in a week of chances in getting the best divine gear that you could from the Nightmare Temple. Similar to Juperos or Helheim, you'd get 15 weekly assist rewards, but you won't get divine gears. Instead, you would get Lights of Power and Proof of Union. There's also an affix component in the Nightmare Temple, pretty similar to Diablo 4's affixes. For those who aren't familiar, affixes are basically monster buffs that make these levels even more challenging. On the other hand, you can choose a blessing of your choice, pretty much similar to Yggdrasil's. In a nutshell, once you step in the Nightmare Temple, go get your first clear rewards and pretty much get a whale to carry you through the harder levels to get the better loot. Lastly, if you click on the tips button on the bottom left of the screen, you'd see number 1, the usual boss tips, and on the left side, the strength recommendation for each level. Again, this is a gradual process. You will see on the recommendation the refine of your armor and weapon, and down at the bottom the resilience stats, which brings us to Divine Armament upgrading of your stats. This is where you'll spend those Lights of Power, Divine Fragments, and a couple of thousands, maybe millions of Eden coins. The hard difficulties require a resilience level of 37, and you can see here on the upper right side of the screen, I've got a resilience 16, so you've got a long way to go. Smelting. Again, pretty much like Diablo 4's re-rolling of your stats or enchantments. The only difference is this is way better, I guess, than Diablo 4's, because you could literally pick the stats that you'd like replaced. Once you've transferred a stat to a new weapon, that weapon would be useless, so it's better to dismantle it for more Lights of Power. One thing you notice is that the base stats of these random loots vary, so you definitely want the highest physical attack, for example, where you would transfer the best stats onto. We all know that when we change gears every 10 levels, it would cost us some materials and Zenny. Here's a few examples, not the full set because I wasn't able to record all of them, but I should give you an idea about how much Zenny and or materials you would need. Please take note that some, if not all of these materials, you could get from events like the Battle Pass, so that should be able to save you some money. Now, throughout the entire Nightmare Temple grind, you'd sometimes find blue armors first, and eventually you'd get a purple armor. One good question raised by one of my buddies, Mato, would you spend the same amount of scrolls, Eden coins, and hammers using this perfect transfer method once you transfer from blue to purple? The answer, luckily, is no. As you can see here, once you transfer from blue to purple, the refinement transfer would be free. Also, while you are transferring your level 80 gear to your divine armament, you might notice that your divine power seems to be not increasing. It's a known bug, and all you have to do is change maps. Lastly, and probably the most important thing about the divine armament gear is that you can freely change your builds. For example, as you can see, I can freely use the ROO blue spear. I can choose my holy Gardon shield freely, change my armor set from sprint to Goibnies. I wanted to make this as concise as possible, but if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Subscribe. Thank you guys. Cheers. Good luck. Have fun.